This episode is sponsored by CarmellaMarie.com. Hey, my people, for all natural hair products and skincare needs, hit up my girl at CarmellaMarie.com. All her products are all natural, made by the finest things on earth like avocado oil, cocoa butter, and honey. Use promo code 070413 for free shipping. Again, that's CarmellaMarie.com. What's poppin', my people? Welcome back to another episode of the Radical Latino Show. It's your host, the Radical Latino. I have a very special episode today. It's gonna be very short. I'm actually gonna play an interview that I did earlier in the week, and basically I'm gonna be interviewing the owner of the person who's sponsoring this episode, Carmella Marie. She has a all natural hair care product and skin line, and I decided to interview her, for you guys. And the reason why I decided to do so is because when I met her, me and her started talking, and I was noticing that she had a very unique and beautiful drive. So I said, you know what? I think I have to, talk to her and, give her some exposure so people could actually hear and feel the same thing I'm feeling, a young, black, economically independent woman, who has her own business, and that's something beautiful to be motivated from. So this is what the episode is going to be today about: the importance of economic independence. I'm just going to talk a little bit about it, my thoughts, and then I'll just cut into the interview. But what is the importance of economic independence? Well, it's very important because, first of all, everybody says, yo, I want to be a boss, I don't want to do anything. I want to be a boss, I want to make money. But it takes a lot of work for you to actually get to that level of becoming a boss. A lot of people say you haven't worked harder ever in your life until you actually own your own business. And that's 100% true. That's 100% true. I used to own my own personal training business. A lot of you guys don't even know about that, but I used to own a personal training business. I had that for a year and a half or whatever. I messed it up. That's the reason why it's not even up and running. But I worked my ass off for advertising, hiring, everything. So I know how hard it is, and once you get that first client, once you get money in the door, that's a feeling that you're like, this is actually real, because you're actually seeing your vision come to a reality. Now, the thing is, with success comes a lot of, not failures, but a lot of what people, haters. A lot of haters. And the thing is, a lot of haters, they're gonna put you down. They're gonna, tell you, listen, you're not gonna make it. It's not gonna happen. It's a waste of time. Forget about it. Why are you why are you gonna do this? Why, you know what I'm saying? Because they don't see that same vision, and that shouldn't be a deterrent for your own vision. You gotta, shake your shoulders off with that and keep it moving. You know what I'm saying? Because that they're having a crab in the barrel mentality, and we, covered that in the last episode, but you can't be, actually hearing that. But being economically independent, we're kind of taught in the Latin and Black community that what we have to do is be good workers. That's what we gotta do. We gotta be good workers, especially Latinos. we're one or two generation immigrant kids, coming from immigrant parents, who were born, who came here and we were born here and stuff. And that's what it's kind of drilled in our heads, you know what I'm saying? But it's not nothing different from the black community. We're kind of taught this. Go to school and become a good worker. Go to school and become a good worker. Get a good job. Get a good job. Get a good job. Go to school and become a good worker. We're never taught to create our job. We're never taught to be bosses. We're never taught to actually get an education and make a job, because the dominant society, that's what they're taught. That's what they're taught when they first learn how to communicate and put sentences together. That's the first thing that they're taught. No, you're not going to work. You are going to make your job. What you're going to do is work, get the experience so you know the field that you want to get in, and create a job. Most of these people, most of these white people who go to school and get degrees, like let's say a doctor, then most of them are not working in hospitals. And if you do find one, that's because they're interning and they're practicing. Once they get that license, they open up their own practice. Majority of them do. We gotta start thinking like that. That's what we gotta do. We gotta start thinking like that. And unfortunately, a lot of us don't. We're taught to be good slaves. That's what we're taught. We're taught to be good slaves. We're taught to be good workers. Don't think about anything about independence. Think about getting a good job. And most of us live check by check. And that's not something that we are put in this planet to do. We're not supposed to be, working our asses off and then just go to retire. You know what I'm saying? You'll be hard pressed to find. You'll be very, very hard pressed to find a white working woman that's like really old, unless she's a former drug addict. You know what I'm saying? You'll be very hard pressed to find a old middle-aged old white woman working. You'll be very hard pressed to find that, because if you do, most likely she'll be on the pipe. You know what I'm saying? She's a former drug addict or something happened. You feel me? And if you do, it's very rare. It's out there, but it's very, very rare. And there's other things that come across with that you're like, oh, okay, you could chalk that up. Like, all right, all right. You know what I'm saying? But you're very hard pressed to find something like that. And that's what I'm trying to come across. That most of us gotta start thinking like that. Most of us have to actually start thinking being economically independent, because there's a lot of benefits that come from that. Your thinking will be different. Why? Because your business becomes something that, okay, this is my financial, receiving end. This is my bank right now, so I can't do anything to fuck it up. You'll literally that's like your kid. You know what I'm saying? Your thinking will be different. Not only will your thinking be different, you'll start moving different. You'll actually start seeing yourself as the way, the same thing you see your business. You start moving different, you start thinking different, you start speaking different. And then later on, you'll start seeing that you're revolving yourself around people who think like you. Revolving yourself around people who move like you. Revolving around people who are in the same struggle or the same steps as you. So once you start doing that, you guys could chop it up. Your businesses together, help each other, will grow, and it will help out. Unfortunately, there's a lot of Latin businesses that, this is the difference between. I like to promote a lot of black business empowerment, black empowerment, black economic empowerment. Why? I'm a Latino, but I like to promote black empowerment. I'm about to tell you why. Because unfortunately, there's a lot of Latinos who open up businesses like barbershops, cuchifritos, and a bodega, who take money from the community but don't bring it back to the community. What they do is bring it back to DR, they bring it back to Colombia, elsewhere. That's the difference. When a black person actually opens up a business here, they actually start thinking, how can I help out my people? And that's the disconnect between Latinos and black people. That's the disconnect right there. That's the big difference. And unfortunately, that's the sad truth. That's the big sad truth. And we got to step away from that because the majority of us are living here. So, you know what I'm saying? We got to start thinking like that. And unfortunately, there's a lot of Latin coons out there who aren't thinking like that. They just thinking about me, 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 and let me just send back some cash to DR. And whenever they see a black person get killed, they don't think that they're black because hey, they're like fuck it, I got nothing to do with that. They don't see that connection. They don't see that in America they're treated the same. You know what I'm saying? They don't see that. So there's a big disconnect there. That's why I like to promote black businesses because, first of all, like I said, always, I keep on saying, Latinos owe everything to black people, especially in this country with the struggles because we're professional piggybackers. All our benefits come from the black struggle. And Latinos never have ever helped out the black community. And that's what I'm trying to change. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm trying to change. So there's a lot of benefits that come with economic independence. But let me stop talking. I'm gonna let y'all listen to the interview. Here we go. Hey guys, today I bring you a very special guest with a very special and lovely person with me today. Her name is Carmella, and she runs a business where you guys could find out more about it at carmellamarie.com. You guys probably heard that ad in the beginning of this episode. So without further ado, Carmella, what's up?
Hey, man, Rod, thank you. Everything but nothing. I say that.
Yeah.
But all is well. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, not a problem. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, so like you said, I own Carmella Marine, but besides that, um, I am from Ohio, grew up in a small town outside of Youngstown, Ohio, not far from Cleveland. And so I was a country bumpkin. Lived outside, enjoyed the land, eating tomatoes straight off the plant. And
Wearing overalls.
wearing overalls. I think I had like a pair or two of overalls, barefoot, barefoot running around in the grass. So the whole 9 yards. So my childhood of living outside has helped me, I think, helped me to form a level of creativity and strategic thinking because I had to do when I was a young kid. Our toys were dirt, sticks, whatever we could find outside. So I've been entertaining myself and my cousins and for a long time and just being a creative, critical thinker. Anyways, fast forward, Carmella Marie is a natural hair and beauty company that I started in July of 2013. I call myself a kitchen chemist, sometimes called like mad kitchen chemist, where I pulled stuff out of my kitchen cabinets and tried to figure out how to make a cream, blending oil and water. My first few times were a fail, and got some books, and then I went forward and had my first product line, and Carmella Marie was born on July 4th, 2013. So,
And it's
yeah.
a fairly still fairly new company, but you are, growing pretty fast, correct?
Yeah, I would say I'm growing at a pace that I can handle the level of success. A lot of times I've seen companies where they've grown too fast and you can't handle it, and that ends up being a failure. So the level at which we are growing at, I can actually handle, and I am excited about that because with a solid foundation, I can build. I can build anything on top of a solid foundation.
Gotcha, gotcha. So
Yeah.
can you walk us through the what made you want to get start your own business? What ended up happening where you said, you know what, let me just start my own business. Let me start being economically independent.
Totally. My whole life is my mom's an entrepreneur. Everybody in my family has a day job with that side hustle, aka entrepreneurs. So in my heart of hearts, I already knew I was going to own a business, just didn't know what it was. At the age of around 29, I had just moved out of my parents' house, right? And I got laid off of work. I was trying to get a job in Seattle on the West Coast, did not get it. Um, and I was like, okay, guy, obviously you don't want me to move to Seattle. But what is it that you want me to do with my life? And clear as day, all that hair on top of your head, like, are you kidding me? And that was from there. After that small, brief talk, I started figuring, the product piece. But in addition to that, I didn't, in that process of creating Carmella Marine, most importantly is I wanted to help women understand that who they are is more than enough. So the curly, coily, kinky hair, while I was also doing this journey myself and telling myself and learning how who I am is more than enough, and that the thing, implementing this company, I could do it because I have the skill set inside of me. It became more than just about selling hair products, and it's more about, self-confidence, knowing who you are in the world and where you're going. And every time I meet a woman who is brave enough to
Uh-huh.
take her wig off, brave
Uh-huh.
enough to go, just wear her natural hair and she's wearing my products, that makes me feel awesome and amazing. So that is definitely the reason why I do what I do on a daily basis for like 15, 16 hours a day.
Got it. And um, you know, correct me if I'm wrong, but
Hmm.
is it true that it's a lot cheaper if you're gonna use non organic or non natural products than it is to use natural products?
Oh yeah, definitely. It's definitely cheaper to go to the dollar store, the corner store, and get some Suave or Blue Magic.
Yeah.
Definitely cheaper. Hmm.
Yeah, so but you took that and you said no, I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna go all natural with all natural things that the earth is giving us. What made you go into that direction?
Um, so one, again, my background is, we grew up outside. We worked in the garden all the time, and the the difference between eating a tomato out of the garden and actually buying a tomato and eating it out of the store, the flavors are two totally different flavors. It's much you can tell like a apple off your apple tree has way more flavor, and they're going to give you way more health benefits than that, you know, low end cheap apple or tomato or onion that you're buying out of the store. So that's the reason why I did that, is because from personal experience, I knew that by having more natural ingredients, having more organic ingredients, and the higher end ones are going to give you better results in comparison to products that have more of that synthetic feel to it.
Got it. Cause I remember you when we met,
Mhm.
you gave me a bottle of deep conditioner,
Yeah.
and I'm reading all the things, the ingredients in the back. I'm like, man, I could start making this, cause this is everything you could literally just find outside, So,
Right.
can you tell us the 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 cons of not using natural hair products? Because when we were talking, I was hearing these terms like thyroid and all of this because you get it from
Mhm.
perms. Can you tell us what the cons are, from not using natural hair products like yours, and getting
Yeah.
all these perms and stuff?
Yeah, most definitely. So, research that I've read has there's been proven that there's been an increasing number of African Americans specifically who have fibroids, cancer, and things like that, and that has been linked to what relaxer we refer to as a perm, but a relaxer And so a lot of women are actually, for health reasons, 50s, 60s, they're getting off of that perm because it's really been detrimental to their health, whether it's skin issues or fibroids or cancer or, messing with hormones or things along those lines. So a lot of my clients that I see that come through my door use that, are getting off the perms because of that. Now, when you use a natural-based product, our skin is our largest, organ. It absorbs stuff. So by having it absorb healthy ingredients, hibiscus tea, honey, I use these different types of ingredients in our deep conditioner. That is stuff that you actually could eat, So honey is good for you. Honey is good for you in your tea, in your coffee, but it's also good for your hair. It's an humectant that moisturizes it on a natural basis. Hibiscus tea, you can drink it. It has a nice, strong, tart taste to it, used
Mm-hmm.
in Jamaican sweet tea, but it's good for growth if you put it through your hair, So there's so many things that, and the reason why, and when you look at the African American community, the things we eat what we eat because it's good for us. And the things that we put in our hair prior to us even coming to the U.S. by force. When we came over, there was something that I read. I remember there were okra seeds in our hair when we got off the boat. So I didn't get a chance to read the full story, but I imagine that we probably were using the actual slime from the okra to help us moisturize our hair, and that, we might have got ripped out of that hair session. I'm being real, just story time here, but there's so much
Mm-hmm.
that we use, our ancestors used to do their hair that was straight from the earth, clay, and juices and berries. We talk about, remember coming to
Yeah.
America? He's like, "What you put in your
Yeah.
hair?"
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
like, "Yeah, juices and berries." But that's all that
Yeah.
kind of stuff
Yeah.
is
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
true. So
Yeah,
that's
no,
the
most definitely, and I do see a trend now where, you know, women are coming back more natural, and they're getting their natural hairs out because I understand that, we we aren't in the African sun. You know what I mean? Where
right,
our scalp produces all those oils and protections.
correct.
We're most of us are in, like, the east side of North America, where we got
Hmm.
4 different seasons and terrible weather. You know what I mean?
Right, and we
So
keep it
so
covered.
I yeah, exactly. So I understand. Can you I seen on your Instagram that you were speaking in a conference. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Oh, yeah, yeah. So I was a speaker at Do Your Live, which is a regional marketing conference that's held every year. I believe this is the third year it's held. And I was talking about how to build influence with your brand. And one of the most important things I would tell people all the time, it is about relationships that you build. It's not about the product you're selling. And I think if you can get past selling the product and just strictly about relationships, you'll build lifelong, not clients, but lifelong family members who will never quit on you, who will always support you, who will always tell your story and tell you, when there's something up and try to help you out. So we went to a lot of other different things, but it was awesome. We already had in my session, over 100 people. It was packed, standing room only.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, man, our heart was pounding outside of my chest. I was like, and I wasn't,
Jesus.
yeah, yeah. I don't even think we got everybody in the picture. I tried to take a selfie, but and the questions were awesome. And,
Yeah,
I
all I
tried to,
saw was like your hair from there. That's all I saw. Yeah, and there was like a lot of
right,
people there.
hair and then people. So, yeah, it was definitely Dennis Schiraldi puts that conference on every year, and it's been an awesome experience every year that I've gone. But this is my first time actually speaking, so I was excited about that.
Gotcha, and congratulations on that.
Thank
Can you uh,
you.
can you tell us a little bit about
the benefits that you see and how it improve owning your own business.
Yeah, definitely. So I will say that I get a chance to mentor and do a lot of business coaching with businesses in my area. So I get a chance. I see consumer packaged goods. I see a lot of baked goods, a lot of barbecue sauces, clothing or accessories, and the importance of financial independence. Being independent financially is super important. One, it allows you to stabilize your community. Two, when you build something that belongs to you, you treat it differently. There's a different type of respect and understanding that comes along with it. So you're not just willy-nilly. If you're serious about it, you're not willy-nilly about it, but you're intentional about it. And not
Yeah.
only, and not only are you building the business, you're building your mindset. And it's not just you. So I do a lot of women. I mentor a lot of women. So it's not just you building a business. Now you are being an example for your kids. You are showing them that you can win. And outside of school, or your kids or other people in the community, outside of school, because a lot of times everybody thinks that, and there's nothing wrong with school. I'm not anti-school. I come from higher education. That's my background for 11 years. It's longer than that. But a lot of times we think that the only place we can learn is inside of a school building, and that is not true. It's really what you learn outside of those four walls and what you implement that is just as important, if not more important, than what you learn in those four walls, which are basically theory. And if you can implement that theory through the start of your own business, that's where all of that stuff comes to life. And that's where we get back to our purpose. And I know I need to shut up. I will. Purpose, which is growth, and growth includes exploration and adventure, and not just reading about it. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
I always saw people taking pictures. You see people saying taking pictures on Instagram underneath the Dumbo Bridge, but I'm like, I want to experience that, and that's where being financially independent is not you looking at somebody else. It's you actually working hard to get to that point so that you can experience.
Yeah, and a lot of people fail to actually see it because we're kind of taught to be great workers,
Mm-hmm.
and we're not taught to actually make or create our own job, like like the dominant society. They're kind of taught to
Yeah.
do so. Um, what I do find is that a lot of people, especially in our community, kind of
Mm-hmm.
shy away from black businesses because we kind of see it as it's not up to par, and a white person does it a lot better. Do you get some of that backlash?
So as a personal business owner, I did in the beginning. I had a lot of support, and then I had a lot of people kind of standing off and looking back and waiting to see what was going to happen. Um, you know, we have to, as a community, as a Black community, get to a point where we see the vision, you know, and that we become, even if you don't own a business, we become as a community have an entrepreneurial mindset to say, I'm going to help take this business further. And I have seen Caucasian people say out of their mouth that today I have $100 set aside and I'm going to go support a small business this month. And they set aside a 20, a $40 or whatever, and they intentionally go to XYZ business, even if it's just once a month, and purchase from them.
Wow.
That's what I
Wow.
said, man. I'm like, that's dope. I want to be like that.
Wow. Yeah.
Uh, but we have to, as a community, be entrepreneurs like we were back in the day. Because we right now, you're talking about, how we just kind of sit back and we're not business owners. But that's only because society has trained us to do that. We used to be producers. We used to own all of our own businesses because nobody would sell anything to us or allow us to sit in their coffee shop. But since the country as a whole, society as a whole is saying, hey, we're missing out on some stuff, Now, what's important is that you have the latest and greatest car, buggy, or shoes, and you can't get that unless you have a job where you're consistently making money so you can buy this stuff. And it's just, we're not producers anymore. We're consumers, and that's another topic for a different day. But that
Yeah,
mindset,
that's true.
yeah,
Yeah,
true.
that's 100% true. We got to get back into the mindset of owning, not just buying, because they do say
Right,
in the black community there's a lot more money that is being spent than actually owning.
right.
So
And I think we talked
yeah,
about this when I did meet you, was how not just us buying and keeping the dollar within the community, but then also making a product that we could export to the world as a community and pull in those dollars. And that is the key to the kingdom right there, is getting a product that crosses lines that anybody can buy outside of it, and then bringing that dollar into the black community. So
that's a
exporting,
that's a very good example. That's very important, and
yeah,
I believe that we got to start, teaching our kids, and our kids and
yeah,
stuff, the importance of economic independence.
true.
Unfortunately, a lot of us are still, mentally enslaved, and we think that, once we get out of the clutches of the dominant society, we're not gonna make it, and so because we kind of like seek approval,
Mhm,
um, uh,
mhm.
low key, and we gotta kind of get away from that.
Yeah, we do. We do. I was there, even just from friends and family, but
Hmm.
we just have to be confident enough in who we are, where we're going, and our vision that we go forward regardless until somebody else says, hey, this chick is serious or this dude is serious. Let me go see what they're doing.
Yeah, that for those who don't know, we met during Curl Fest, right? Correct?
Right, right.
Yeah, so
Totally.
we met, and we just started chopping it up, and then the whole conversation was amazing. Can you tell us a little bit about what Curl Fest is and what your contribution to Curl Fest?
Yeah, so Curl Fest is this mecca of afros, curls, and locks, men and women all coming together on this Saturday, but it was July 21st. I believe that was that Saturday, and just showing off culture and hair and melanin and all that stuff. And there were different brands out there. So Carol's Daughter was there, Shea Moisture was there, Target was there. There were some awesome, amazing food trucks I did not get a chance to eat at, and but it was cool. But it was just like the camaraderie that was there, the love that was there. It was a huge party. It was my first time going, so they had the DJ was hot. The booths and the different vendors, black-owned businesses that were there were hot and amazing.
Mm,
Clothing, art. They even had a place where you could play a little bit of not ping pong, but like some volleyball. They had a little net. They had some place where you
mhm.
could take some super cute pictures and hang out and meet people and just picnic in the park. So we were just outside on our blankets. Some people brought their own food. I should have brought my own food. But it was,
You guys were just hanging out.
yeah, it was hanging out. It was a
Yeah,
big old party for people with curly, curly, kinky hair and locks, and it was perfect day.
that's a beautiful thing.
It is celebrating who we are all
Yeah, that's
together.
a that's a
15,000
that's,
people.
yeah, that's a beautiful that's a beautiful thing. Celebrating black excellence, that's always a good thing, because with that mentality of black ownership will come a
Hmm.
power family. With a power family will come with a power community. A power community
Hmm.
will become a power city. A power city will become empire.
Correct.
So that's a very, powerful, powerful, beautiful, positive thing. Now, before we go, can you
Yeah.
tell the people how to reach you, and give your website out one more time?
Yeah, definitely. You can hit me up at CarmellaMarie.com. That's CarmeLla Marie, Marie. And then on Instagram, I got my personal account, which is Carmella M. Will, and then my business account, which is Carmella Marie 30. You can definitely ask me questions, love and like my pictures, follow, and things like that. And I would love to see anybody who's listening to this on my Insta.
Gotcha. Thank you very much. Can you just rattle off your three best products that you have?
Yeah, deep conditioner, in our my gel, and hair lotion.
And I want everybody listening to go get three of them right now.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, yeah, not a problem. So thank you very much, Carmella.
All right, guys. So that was the interview with Carmella from CarmellaMarie.com. Remember, go check out her website, buy some of her products, all of it, great stuff. You could catch me at Twitter and Instagram at radical_Latino_. And you can hit me up and ask me anything you want. If you want to be part of the show, I also got the show's number up there. It's also on the description of this podcast. And let me know what you guys think. Leave a comment down below, and I'm gonna catch y'all later. Peace.